Hi guys, and welcome to another edition of Darkwood Bushcraft. Today we're going to talk a little bit about a bit of a controversial subject, which is batoning. There is a school of thought that you should never baton with a knife. However, where I stand is I think you should use the right tool for the job. So by all means, if you've got an axe, use an axe, but if all you've got on you is a knife, there might come a time when you actually need to baton. Now, in particular today, I want to talk about how to baton with a folding knife, because this is one of those really taboo subjects. So what we've done before we start is we've done a little bit of preparation. So the first thing I've done is I've made a wedge. A wooden wedge is traditionally known as a glut. Now this one is made out of Norway spruce, which is what we've got around us here. That's not ideal. Ideally you'd want to use a hardwood, or you'd want to use something like holly, or maybe beech or something like that. But this is made out of what we've got locally. I've got myself a little mallet that we're going to use to actually drive the blade through the wood. I've got my knife, of course, and I've got a few little lengths here that I need to process. So we'll have a look at what we do next. Okay, so the knife I've got with me today is my ESEE Avispa. I love this knife, so that goes to show how much faith I've got in this process. Most people would just laugh at the idea of batoning with a folding knife, but if that's all you've got, maybe that's what you need to do to process the wood. The reason people don't like using folding knives for batoning is because obviously you've got a weak point. The amount of stress that it will put on the joint here, you're very, very likely to break your knife. And this is where this tip comes in really, really handy. What I'm actually going to do is I'm not going to lock my blade. Now, without the blade locked, there's literally no pressure. Without me holding this, there's no pressure going through that hinge whatsoever. So if I hold the blade unlocked, when I actually start to baton with the knife, I'm literally putting no strain whatsoever on this hinge. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to knock the blade into the wood like that, just tapping lightly either side, and then I'm going to use my wedge and I'm going to push my wedge in, and I'm going to knock my wedge in just far enough to be able to get my knife out. No damage whatsoever to my blade and no chance of damaging it. And then just with a few taps with the wedge, there you go, your wood is split. You can use this process on any folding knife, even something like a Swiss Army knife. Admittedly, you can't process big wood with this, but it could get you out of a scrape in an emergency. Happy trails.